Hello students, today we are going to start class 10 science chapter 1 chemical reactions and equations session number 1. So you have studied in class 8th also 9th also the changes around us. So these can be classified into two categories. The first one is physical changes. Those changes in which no new substances are formed. Physical changes may alter the shape, size, color or density of the original substance. Now let us move toward the second one, that is chemical changes. Those changes in which new substances with new properties are formed. So these are the two changes which occur around us, and the chemical changes. Under chemical changes we have one very important topic, that is the main topic of our chapter, that is chemical reaction. And whatever the chemical changes that we are observing, that process is called chemical reaction. The chemical reactions are the processes in which new substances with new properties are formed, and whatever the that new substances what we are getting, that the property with the substances used, these two are differ from each other. Okay, now let's move towards the substance. The substance which take part in a chemical reaction, those substances are called reactants. Okay, and the substance which the new substance produced as a result of chemical reaction, that are called products. So in a chemical reaction, reactants are transformed into product. The product thus formed have properties which are entirely different from those of the reactants. Okay, so the properties of react products is different from those of the reactants. Now take an example. When a magnesium ribbon is heated, it burns in air with a dazzling white flame to form a white powder called magnesium oxide. Actually, on heating, magnesium combines with oxygen present in the air to form magnesium oxide. Okay, so let us see the reaction. This is the reaction in the equation in form of word. Magnesium when combines with oxygen, it when heated in the presence of air, it will produce white powder, that is magnesium oxide. The burning of magnesium in air to form magnesium oxide is an example of chemical reaction. And in this chemical reaction, the two reactants are combined, that is magnesium and oxygen, and but we are getting only one product, that is magnesium oxide. The properties of magnesium oxide are entirely different from the properties of the reactant, that is magnesium and oxygen. Okay, now we are moving towards one very important topic, that is characteristics of a chemical reaction. So we have altogether 5 characteristics. The first one is evolution of a gas, second one is formation of a precipitate, the third one is change in color, and the fourth one is change in temperature, and the fifth one is change in state. So let us discuss about the first one, that is evolution of a gas. So we will take two examples of each for the explanation of the characteristic. Take an example of this one. The when zinc granules react with dilute sulfuric acid, then the bubbles of hydrogen gas are formed. Okay, so what we can say, that the chemical reaction between the zinc and dilute sulfuric acid is characterized by the evolution of hydrogen gas. Okay, so now we'll see the second example. When dilute hydrochloric acid is poured over sodium carbonate in a test tube, then carbon dioxide gas is evolved. So from that we can say that the chemical reaction between sodium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid is characterized by the evolution of carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so these are the two examples which belongs to the characteristic, that evolution of gases. Now let us move toward the second one, that is formation of a precipitate. Now what is precipitate? Precipitate is a solid product which separates out from a solution during a chemical reaction. Okay, after chemical reaction, if we are getting a solid product, that product is called precipitate. Okay, we'll see one example. When potassium iodide solution is added to a solution of lead nitrate, then a yellow precipitate lead iodide is formed. So we can say that the chemical reaction between potassium iodide and the lead nitrate is characterized by the formation of a yellow precipitate of lead iodide. Okay, let us move towards one more example. When dilute sulfuric acid is added to barium chloride solution taken in a test tube, then the white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed. So we can say that the chemical reaction between sulfuric acid and barium chloride solution is characterized by the formation of white precipitate of barium sulfate. Okay, so these are two characteristics. Now let us move to the third one, that is change in color. So when citric acid reacts with potassium permanganate solution, for citric acid we can use lemon juice because it contains citric acid. Then the purple color of potassium permanganate solution disappears. That means it becomes colorless. So what we can say that the chemical reaction between citric acid and purple colored potassium permanganate solution is characterized by a change in color from purple to colorless. Okay, so we'll move toward the another example. When sulfur dioxide gas is passed through acidified potassium dichromate solution, then the orange color of potassium dichromate solution changes to green color. Okay, so we conclude that the chemical reaction between sulfur dioxide gas and acidified potassium dichromate solution is characterized by a change in color from orange to green. Okay, so now we will move towards the fourth one, that is change in temperature. So one example, when quicklime reacts with water, then we'll get slaked lime. Okay, slaked lime is formed and lot of heat energy is produced. This heat raises the temperature, due to which the reaction mixture becomes very hot. Okay, so what we can say that the chemical reaction between the quicklime and water to form slaked lime is characterized by a change in temperature. Okay, and whenever the uh, temperature increases, okay, we'll get, if any due to any chemical reaction, if heat is evolved, if we are getting heat or heat produces, that reaction is called exothermic reaction. Okay, so we can say that reaction between quicklime and the water to form slaked lime is an exothermic reaction, and for remembering we used to say it as heat producing reaction. Okay, one more example is that the chemical reaction in which carbon burns in air to form carbon dioxide, it also releases a lot of heat. Okay, so these are the two examples under change in temperature. Now let us move toward the last one, that is change in state. When wax is burned uh, in the form of wax candle, then water and carbon dioxide are formed. Now wax is a solid and water is a liquid, and carbon dioxide is a gas. That means during this combustion reaction of wax, the physical state changes from solid to liquid and gas. Okay, so these are the five characteristics of chemical reaction. Now we are moving towards one very important topic, that is chemical equation. Now what is chemical equation? Chemical equation, the method of representing a chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulas of the substances involved in it, is known as a chemical reaction. Whatever the reaction is there, if we are using symbol and formula to represent that, to explain that reaction, that is called chemical equation. So take an example. Zinc metal reacts with dilute sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. This reaction can be written in words as zinc plus sulfuric acid, which gives zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. So here that zinc and sulfuric acids are reactants and zinc sulfate and hydrogen are product. Okay, so if we put the symbol and formula of all the substances in that word equation, so we get this chemical equation. So zinc and sulfuric acid, these two are reactants, and zinc sulfate and hydrogen, these two are product. Okay, the substance which combine or reacts are known as reactants. So here what are the reactants? Zinc and sulfuric acid. And the new substances produced in a reaction are known as products. So what are the products here? Zinc sulfate and hydrogen are the products in this case. Okay, so now we conclude that a chemical equation, we can also say that a chemical equation is a shorthand method of representing a chemical reaction. Okay, so we are moving towards one very important topic, that is balanced and unbalanced chemical equation. So let us discuss with first balance chemical equations. Okay, so what is balanced chemical equation is that it has equal number of items of different elements in reactants and different and in the product. Okay, both sides, the number of elements of that particular element should be same, the number of items. Okay, so in other words, the balanced equation has equal number of items of different elements on both the sides. If suppose left hand side two hydrogen items are there, so right hand side also it should be two hydrogen items. So we'll take one example. So just now we have seen one that example, zinc reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. We got zinc sulfate and hydrogen. Okay, so the equation is written in this way. So now in this reaction, we'll count all the number of items of each elements of left hand side, that is on reactants and products. Okay, so we'll count one by one. Zinc, both sides one is there, and hydrogen left hand side two are there, and the right hand side also two. Similarly sulfur 1 and oxygen is 4 4. So we got all the number of items in reactants and in products of all the elements are same. That means the equation is balanced. Okay, so this is balanced chemical equation. Now let us move towards unbalanced chemical equation. So an unbalanced chemical equation, it is very clear that the number of items of any one or more on both the sides are not same. Both the sides means in reactants and in products. Is that clear? Okay. So we can say that, in other words, an unbalanced equation has an unequal number of items of one or more elements on its two sides. So we'll see one example. When hydrogen reacts with oxygen, it will form a water. So how we will write an equation that H2 plus O2, it forms H2O. Now see, left hand side, the number of items for oxygen is 2, while in right hand side, that in the product side, it is 1. That means uh, these are not balanced. So what we are observing, that the hydrogen items of both the sides are same, but oxygen is not same. So that means it is unbalanced equation. Is that clear? Okay. So it appears as if one oxygen atom has been destroyed. What we can conclude, that if we write this equation, one oxygen atom has been destroyed, but actually, according to the law of conservation of mass, matter cannot neither be created nor be destroyed in any chemical reaction. Okay, so that means the number of various type of items in reactants should be equals to the number of the same type of reactants in products. Okay, so if the equation is not balanced, we have to make it balance. Is that clear? Okay, so now in the next topic, we are going to see how to balance a chemical equation. So our next topic is balancing of chemical equation. The process of making the number of different types of items equal on both the sides of an equation is called balancing of equation. Okay, so we'll see one example. Just now we have seen that H2 plus O2, we got H2O. अभी जो पहले example देखे थे, in that what we have seen, that oxygen items on both the sides are not same. So now we are going to balance this equation. So what we will do, uh, as the number of oxygen item left hand side is 2 and the right hand side is 1, so we are going to put 2 in the product. Now check both the sides. Oxygen, now oxygen is balanced on both the sides, but what about hydrogen items? Hydrogen items got disturbed. Left hand side, in the reactant side, only 2 is there, 2 items are there, where the right hand side now it becomes 4. So what we will do, again we have to make it 4 in the left hand side. Now check, Now we are going to check. Yes, both the items are same in reactants and the products. That means the equation is balanced. Okay, so now we are going to move one very important property, a very important topic, that how to write a balanced chemical equation. Okay, so I will take up it in 4 steps. The first step is, first of all, write the chemical equation in word equation form. Okay, keeping the reactants on left hand side and the product on the right hand side. For example, it is given that methane burns in oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. So in reactant side we have to write methane and oxygen, and the on the product side we have to write carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so in this way we have to write in word equation. Methane plus oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide plus water. This is the first step. Now the second step, we have to put symbols and formula of all the reactants and products in the word equation. So we'll see one formula for each one. Methane, it is CH4. Oxygen, it is O2. Carbon dioxide, CO2. And the water is H2O. So we got all the formula of all the reactants and products. Now we are going to put all the we are going to write the formula of all the in the above word equation. So we got this equation. Now this is the second step. Now the third step, what we have to do, we have to balance the equation. If it is not there, if it is not balanced, then only we have to balance the equation. But keep in your mind, you have to keep in your mind that you should not change the formula to balance the equation, right? For example, oxygen is O2. You want to balance the equation, so you are making it O. It is not permissible. Okay, so see this example. uh, the same example is carry forward here, the same equation. Now we'll check the number of items of each elements on the reactants and the product. Okay, so what we are observing, that hydrogen items and oxygen items are different. Reactant hydrogen item is 4 and in product hydrogen item is 2, so we have to make it double. And in oxygen items, reactant side is 2 and the product side it is 3, so that also we have to balance. Okay, so how we have to balance now? Actually, for balance an equation we use always a trial and error method. So we are keeping one number, then we will check, then like that we have to balance. Okay, so let us check. Okay, so we are going to, I'm going to make hydrogen 4. Okay, 4 हो गया. Now let us check for oxygen. Oxygen left hand side is 2, but right hand side it becomes 4. So now what we have to do, we have to balance oxygen on left hand side. So that we have to make it 4. Now check. Yes, it's balanced. Now we'll count the number of items. Let us count. So what we are observing, all the number of items in of all the elements in reactants and products are same. So our equation is balanced, right? Okay, so now let us move towards the last step, that is fourth step. Fourth step is not mandatory for balancing the chemical equation. Only we will give some important information. Okay, information for by indicating the physical states of the reactants and products, by indicating the heat changes or taking place, if any taking place in the reaction, by indicating the conditions also under which the reaction takes place. If however, if you do not have sufficient information regarding the physical states, heat changes and conditions of the reaction, this step may be avoided. Okay, so this is not mandatory step, but let us see this step also. So we are taking the same example. Now see here, methane is a gas, oxygen is also a gas, and carbon dioxide is also a gas. What about water? Water, it is a liquid. Okay, so we got this information, physical state of the reactants as well as products. Now we are going to for gas we used to write G in bracket, and for liquid we used to write L in bracket. So after putting this physical states, our equation becomes this one. Okay, so now this is over. Again when methane uh, uh, combined with oxygen, when it react with oxygen, lot of heat will produce. So that is also one more information we can give it at the end. When methane burns in oxygen to form carbon dioxide in water, lot of heat also produced. So this is also an example of exothermic reaction because heat is producing. So we can write in finally we can write in this way. So these are not mandatory. As I told you just now, up to third step is mandatory. Okay, now we have completed the uh, balancing the chemical equation. Now in the next I'm going to give some assignment questions. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to note down by clicking the pause button, and you have to attempt all these 10 bits. These are all equations but not balanced. Okay, so you have to balance these equations. Okay, so I think uh, yes, 10 bits are there, right? So that's all for today's session. We will continue with the next topic in this chapter in the next session. Okay, thank you very much.